instead of a two-sentence prompt instruction for AI agent to use to perform your desired action, it's best that you create a full, detailed, comprehensive instruction which clearly writes out what it needs to be doing, what is the desired output, and also additional notes for AI agent to perform its best and mitigate any errors or mistakes. So here's what this whole video is all about. One of the requirements for you to be able to build AI agents is to design a prompt using Markdown format. We could do this with perhaps ChatGPT if you have access to ChatGPT, especially Pro. If you have access to Google Gemini, but I usually craft my prompts the AI agent will need using Grok. So Grok is able to spit out a whole system message for your AI agent using Markdown format, where you map out its own persona or its own behavior, and you'll come to see this in this video. Usually what we do is we usually talk to AI in 2 to 3 or 1 to 2 sentences just to get a quick answer, which is fine on automation spaces wherein workflows depend a lot on AI agents' decisions, AI agents' actions. Best practice is to not just create 1 to 2 sentence prompts, because we might end up not liking the results or output of an agentic workflow. Best practice is when you're dealing with automation workflows that you have to be building out an entire instruction. So instead of just using this prompt, usually I would say, please design a prompt for an AI agent that responds to client's email regarding needing help. The first section, act now. Second section includes your expertise in leveraging generative AI and coding tools in building. Third section includes, so as you can see, I'm now typing out like the whole thing. I want the AI agent to respond to any sort of email. I'm asking Grok to create this in Markdown format because it gives out and organizes the whole behavior and activity I want the AI agent to do for me, and does not get lost and confused in the process. If I had just simplified or made the whole system message pretty vague, just the short and not as structured as a markdown prompt, this is what the output would look like. I like this, yet if you don't like the flow of the message, that's when the markdown format comes in and then structures your entire response, basically what the AI agent needs to be doing. So this is the whole markdown format. As you can see, what markdown format looks like is an instruction and then the output at the end of the instruction. The instruction is on here at the top of the markdown prompt, and then the output that is expected right here. The markdown format provides notes for the AI agent. So you can see a regular prompt look or do this. Can't see an AI agent perform all of these things from a regular prompt, but because of your entire markdown format, you're giving it abilities and what it should be doing and performing for you. So you're doing a comprehensive instruction for your AI, starting out with analyzing the client's email, determine if the email provides sufficient details to create a project plan, and sufficient details typically include a clear description of the problem or goal, any specific requirements or constraints, the desired timeline or urgency, and if ever the email lacks any sufficient details on here, that we need to be asking the right questions. So the sample output would look like this. And then we include, if ever sufficient details are provided, we include the action plan, But if it is lacking and we need more details, then we need to be asking questions on here. Then we wrap up the call to action. So I'll be using Grok in this example. Let's execute the workflow using the Gmail node here so that we can immediately receive an email from the AI agent using Grok. This is how Grok writes out an email. So, dear Ange, thank you for reaching out to us. We understand that we are seeking assistance. So, these are the questions. There's an invitation to schedule an alignment meetup or discovery meeting with us. Please let us know your availability. We look forward, and then we wrap up with best regards. So that's how Grok writes out its email in comparison to Google Gemini. Yes. So that's what it looks like when you're able to write your prompt in Markdown format, set it as the AI agent's system message for it to produce an output such as this. So if you don't add additional information or instruction to parse email, it would look like this. It's very chunked out into just one paragraph. This whole instruction and method of creating your email would be totally useless, and you're not able to execute this. Send out an email to client with this type of email. So what you could be doing is from whatever edits we've done, from all the edits we have done on here, always note additional instruction under notes for AI. The instruction then would include break lines to ensure that each sentence written out in an email is spaced out and separate from each other, not chunked into one whole paragraph. Start from the top part of the email down to best regards. Also do this for item lists. And then switch on required specific output format. This is where this JSON example is mentioned on here, so that when you go to your Gmail node, you're able to see 3 specific input fields you can drag and drop onto here. So in that example, if we don't have that the entire info parsed, you'd only see the AI agent's entire output chunked into like one whole paragraph with the subject of the email with a content body. So for you to separate them and be able to drag and drop them onto this part of your NN, we need to parse that information, which is why we had initiated this. So don't forget to drag and drop content under message field, subject on to this field, and email under center here. Then you get to execute step, so you'd receive an email that looks like this. So that's it. That's the beauty of using Markdown format in creating and designing your prompts for your AI agent system message. So your AI agent knows exactly what it should be doing, writes out an email like this instead of looking like this. So if you want to avoid this type of output, you need to do all those things, but I'm not going to require you to perform this or perfect this. This is a bit of a technical requirement, and that there's a bit of a steep learning curve, but it doesn't mean it's impossible for you to achieve. Take each step at a time so that you don't have to overwhelm yourself with the thought of like tweakings that we've done on here.